stupid. Representative Aaron Schock joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you,
Welcome back to town. All right, well, how do we know if this is just sort of a rogue professor who goes to an elitist school and thinks he's smarter than everybody else, or that this is the thinking of the Obama administration and the president? Is there any way to know?
Well, I think there's a consistent theme here. I mean, this isn't the first time somebody from the Obama administration or the Democratic arm of government here has talked down to the American people. Remember, it was the then Speaker of the House who told the American people, we're just going to have to pass it before we find out what's in the bill. I mean, how much more of a talk down to the American people can that be? And now you see the architect of the bill say that we don't trust the American people enough to figure this out on their own. You ask yourself why the American people doesn't trust government? It's because the government doesn't trust the hardworking taxpayers. It is emblematic of a nanny state government which believes that you're too stupid to figure out which health care is best for you and your family. You're too stupid to figure out how to educate your own children. You're too stupid to figure out what to put in your mouth and eat. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on. And what it means is less opportunity, less freedom, less individual responsibility, and it's what the voters last week resoundingly rejected. In my home state, their electricity prices are going up because of the EPA's overregulation of the coal industry in my state. And so it's too big a government, and it's a nanny state government that's been rejected.
The other thing that besides calling the American people stupid, he talks about the transparency, about lack of transparency being a huge political advantage. And I think to myself, well, you know, the Democratic Party didn't even have any transparency because sort of the herd-like voting for this bill, because they didn't even know what they're voting for. If that isn't lack of transparency, if you just sort of go up to the well of the floor and vote, and you don't have a clue what it is, and then this bill that you don't even know what it is, we send over to HHS where they had 20,000 regs, and the people who put those regulations on it, we didn't vote for. We don't know who they are. I mean, this transparency thing is just a fiction.
You're exactly right. Well, why was Congress so shocked that they weren't exempted from Obamacare until after the law was in effect? You remember this a year ago when the Democrats in Congress were just so abhorred by the fact that they themselves were included in the law. And the only people exempt from the law in its original form were the people who wrote it. It was the staffers on the Health Committee in the Senate that wrote the bill on New Year's Eve. You remember the bill was voted on at night, New Year's Eve, and nobody in the Senate voted on it. So, you know, the question is, can we repeal the bill? That's up to the senators. The House will pass a repeal of Obamacare, rest assured. The question is, are those United States senators who still remain in the Senate and voted in the affirmative, having not read the bill, having not understood the implications of the bill, going to stand and defend it today?
Are we going to have hearings on the substantive part of Obamacare? I keep asking everyone about this Jonathon Gruber thing. Is that just noise? Is that just, I mean, there aren't going to be hearings on him or on his statements.
Well, I mean, clearly he's an idiot. And I'm not sure anybody in the Obama administration is going to try and defend.
He thinks he's pretty smart, by the way.
Well, most professors do. But let me tell you this. I don't need a hearing to know whether or not health care premiums have gone up or down. I haven't found a single person out of the 700,000 that I represent in Central Illinois that have gotten the $2,500 per premium discount that was promised. I don't need a hearing to find out whether they can keep their doctors. I don't need a hearing on whether or not it's made it easier for employers to provide for their health plan. I don't need a hearing to know whether or not this has been good for the hospitals in my district. So for those of us that have done our jobs, listened to our constituents, and represent a district out here in Washington, D.C., that vote's going to come really easy.
All right, Senator Tom Coburn says he's leaving the Senate, but he says that there's not a vote in the Senate to repeal. If there were a repeal vote in the Senate, I don't see that there is, and that went to the White House. You can have it out of the House, out of the Senate. It gets to the President's desk. He's not going to sign that. Well,
but I think then it makes it very clear the President has to defend a 2,500-page bill that even he didn't read. I mean, think about this. He talks about his health care bill. He didn't read the 2,500-page bill. So let's have a repeal. If the President wants to veto it, if that's his decision, then we'll put on his desk the bills that have passed the House with overwhelming bipartisan support. Bills like let you buy whatever health care that you want, not the health care that HHS or some unelected bureaucrat tells you to buy. Let people buy health care across state lines. Simple reforms that are 80-20 issues that most Americans support.
Well, this will be interesting to watch, see what happens. Anyway, Congressman, nice to see you. Thank you, sir.
Good to be with you, Greta.
And tonight at 10 p.m. here on Fox News Channel, part 2 of the